Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated, you get yourself a podcast and you can talk to all the great fellas and gals from your history. And this next guest is that guy. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to talk to Joe Fink. We call him Joey Fink, but the guy's a soccer in our town. He's a soccer legend. Is with the United States national team, with this team, that team, any team was not a team if you didn't play against or had Joey Fink in the mix. Joey, thank you for coming on Wales Certified. It was a lot of, over 50 plus years in the making.
My pleasure, Kevin. My pleasure talking to you. I have a lot of fond memories of St. Louis.
No, St. Louis. That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Played there many times, indoors, outdoors. Have a lot of old friends from St. Louis. Sammy Bick, Steve Petcher, Al Trost, the late Pat McBride. And, I know it's got a great soccer history and very happy to be on your show.
All right, then. The whole ticket when I was a young lad coming up, right, I was only a couple of years younger than you. The deal comes up is that it was a friend of the family's called Joe Sink. And I said, Joe, he said, no, the name is Fink. And I went, oh, I said. So anyway, you had that going on. And I tell you, Joe, I don't know if you wanted to do it, but you became a St. Louis, one of the opponents. You became one of ours. You became one of us.
Well, I didn't know that. It's very nice of you. I remember getting warm reception St. Louis when I played. Maybe it's my connection to being an American. Maybe it's my connection to being on the national team. My roommate was Sam Bick for a while, and I have a lot of affection for St. Louis. I wish I saw those guys more often, but in soccer, sometimes after your career is over, you kind of go your own way. Sometimes you see the guys, like I was just in Carolina for a reunion, but I haven't seen the St. Louis boys in a number of years. So if they're listening or if you know them, please pass on my regards to them.
I shall, I promise. Yeah, but you're one of the guys, and you played alongside with all the fellas, and at that time, I mean, it was, and so you, like I said, you're one of us, and you had a real, I would think, correct me if I'm wrong, a long career.
I played professionally for 13 years. I started in 1973 with the Cosmos. Was the number one draft choice. Played for the Cosmos for 3 years. The first year Pele came and we played together about 10, 12 games. Then I transferred to Tampa Bay Rowdies in 76 because the Cosmos were bringing in Pele, Giorgio Chinalia, Tommy Ord, a couple of more forwards were coming in. And it was very hard for an American to get a chance to start in those days. And so I thought I would have a better chance in Tampa. I went to Tampa. They had Derek Smethurst, Rodney Marsh. Played a fair number of games. But I think my career really took off indoors in Philadelphia and then 4 years in Baltimore, where we won a championship. In fact, we beat St. Louis in the championship indoors. Played many games in the Checker Dome there. And I had a 7-year career. I had a 13-year career total, about 6 or 7 indoors and about 7 or 8 outdoors. They overlap sometimes. That's why it adds up to more.
Well, you're the guy, and the story goes, I've always wanted to ask that question. Man, I'm telling you, if the United States of America could have had you, Don Ebert and Steve Moyers up on the line, baby. I mean, we would score some goals.
Well, that would be a good forward line. I got a lot of respect for Don Ebert. I played against him many times, and a lot of respect for Steve Moyers. I saw him play many times as well. And yeah, we're all goal scorers. We're all American goal scorers.
Yeah, yeah. You know, there's always that story is that there's guys who score goals and then there's gold scorers. And I always put you in the category of gold scorers, baby. I mean, you know how to do the magic at the right time. You know, I don't know, a Ouija board or what, man. But it's not a coincidence that you're always at the right place at the right time, huh?
Well, I got a lot. I added up once, and I got about 300, a little over 300 goals professionally, indoors and outdoors. And of course, most of them were indoors, but it's not a bad number. So, you know, I'm okay with my stats, and I'm okay with my place in history of soccer. I just came back from North Carolina. They had a great reunion for us and remembered us well. And we've had one or two reunions with the Cosmos and the Rowdies. So from time to time, we do get together a little bit.
Yeah. Well, under full disclosure, I'm on the side of Harley don't even notice the game. I don't even, the game is kind of left me, or it's not what I had hoped. I remember sitting in the kitchen talking with guys our age and older folks saying, "Man, it ain't, forget about it. It ain't ever gonna happen." Joe, can you take us on your trip and give us the insights of you being in the mix and then coming out of it? What do you think about it all, United States soccer?
Well, you know, I was on the national team in 1973
Yeah.
for about 3 years, and our preparation was so limited. They didn't have the money. I remember, I think the first time I ever met Pat McBride was at Kennedy Airport on our way to a tour, and we had a couple of days of practice, and then we played a national team, sometimes from Italy, sometimes from Poland, and we would get hammered. And, you know, now they go to camp for 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Ours was just spur of the moment. I used to joke, you had a chance to be on the national team if you met 3 criteria. 1, you had to be American. 2, you had to be a pretty good player. And 3, you had to be able to get 2 weeks off from work. And if you could qualify for all 3 of those, you had a chance to be on the national team back in the 70s. That's how it worked.
You got it. That says it all. Yeah. You're gonna leave me there, or you're gonna keep me going?
Well, 73, 74, 75, they were the early years of soccer until Pele came. There was limited attention on the NASL. I like to tell a story. In 74, we played a game at Reynolds Island, in Queens, and we played on a July 4th weekend. I think it was a Sunday. The weekend was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They played the game on Sunday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was about 90 degrees. And I think we counted the people, and it was about 480 fans in the stands that day. And I said to a teammate, how's this ever going to work? And 1 year later, Pele came, played at the same field. The first game was total sellout, 20,000 plus. And there's a bridge that goes right by the stadium. And cars were parked on the far right lane. You could see the field from the bridge, about 3/4 of the field you could see. And people just parked their cars, couldn't get into the stadium one road for about a half a mile and just watched the game from there, from the bridge. And then everywhere after that, the year Pele was there were big crowds at home, big crowds on the road, a lot of media attention. And then the NASL took off. Giorgio came the next year. Rodney came to Tampa Bay. Beckenbauer came the year after. Carlos Alberto came the year after. Trevor Francis came to Detroit. George Best came to LA. So the NASL had a good run for probably about 7 or 8 years until the early 80s. And then, financially, teams couldn't afford it. Owners couldn't afford it anymore. They weren't making money. Then it kind of died out. The indoor league started for a little while. And that died out too, unfortunately. I'm surprised it did because I remember St. Louis had big crowds, 16, 17,000. Kansas City had big crowds. Baltimore had big crowds. San Diego had big crowds. Wichita had big crowds. I would have thought the indoor league would have had a better chance to make it back then, but I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah. I kind of like this style myself. How about you?
Well, I loved it. I mean, it gave me a
Okay.
chance to play regularly. It suited my game. I was with the Baltimore Blast franchise, which was um, owned by Bernie Roden, good owner. We had a full house. There was no competition in the winter because the Baltimore Colts had moved, so we were the only sport in town in the winter, and it was hard to get a ticket back then. So
Yeah.
it really was a great sport for us in Baltimore.
The Our mutual friend Keith Tozier with the Cincinnati Kids. He's the commissioner now for the.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
yep. Great guy, Keith Tozier.
Oh,
Great guy.
I mean, what? Yeah, stunning. Way to go, Keith. Really good
Yeah.
on it. Yeah. And the story comes out is all about the Americanization. I I I'm still waiting for the American. I mean, I don't see it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I don't see. I don't watch that much MLS, but I do. I live down here near about an hour north of Miami, Boca Raton, and so I follow Inter Miami, Messi's team. Of course, it's great to watch Messi, but they don't have many Americans that are playing. They have a lot of guys from Messi's old team in Barcelona, and they have a couple of other guys from Argentina, a couple of guys from Uruguay, and they have a couple of academy players that are getting a chance a little bit, but it's mainly a foreign team, pretty much a foreign team.
and it's been like that all your life. That you, I mean, that indoor you seem to be able to make yourself known, baby. You took the bull by the horns through other people having injuries or whatever, but you did the deal on a consistent basis, and that the outdoor never came around. And it's never the '90s. That's a long time ago, man.
Yeah, no, it's a long time ago. The '90s are a long time ago. The '70s are even longer, and that's when I started. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the guys I just saw up in Carolina, everybody's hobbling around and talking about their injuries, their age. So, it's amazing. The time has gone so fast, but
Did you did you ever play any college ball?
I did. I played college at NYU 4 years.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
and when you played coming up and then going, you had a, I would imagine, a fire in the belly that you're gonna be a professional as you're playing college. All the history from New York and around the United States at that time. Did you ever even think about any of that, or did you just go as it went, or did you have a real understanding that you were one of the first?
Well, I really didn't have aspirations to play professional soccer until probably my last year of college because it seemed so distant. I played soccer from a very young age because I loved it. It gave me a sense of purpose. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the camaraderie. I enjoyed the game. I was kind of good at it. I got better at it. It did get me to college. It got me a scholarship to NYU. So I can be thankful I got somewhat of an education there. And They started the draft system my senior year of college, and that gave Americans a chance to get into the pro league. And I got drafted by the Cosmos, and then it took off. And even the first 2 years, it was part time. I had a full time job at the time. And then the third year, when Pele came, they offered me a full time contract, and I had to make a decision if I was going to go pro full time or go to work. And I was 24 years old, and it was kind of kind of a I just wanted to go for it, and so I took the opportunity to go pro. Played with Pele, played a lot, played against a lot of stars that I had watched on TV for years and years: Beckenbauer, Cruyff, Best, Marsh, and yeah. I mean, I look back, and there were great friendships that were made all across the world. I go see many of my friends in Europe that I played with that lived there. That we have invitations to go back and forth. Just came from Carolina, where a guy named Mal Roach played with me, and he's got a pub in Galway, Ireland. And he says, "You got to make sure you come to Ireland." So that's on my bucket list to go to Ireland soon.
All
And
right.
yeah, there's lifetime connections that you made from 40, 50 years ago. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah, and it just wasn't like they said, "You go ahead and take it." No, I'll take. No, you were the number one draft choice of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You weren't like a local hire. You were the people that know soccer. They thought you were the best.
Well, I was the number one draft choice. I trained for a month. Coach called me into. Actually, we went to Burger King. We had a burger, and he sat down and he said, "I'm really happy with the way you practiced, and I decided to sign you to a contract, and I'm going to give you $2,100 for the season." Season was 5 months. So it came to 420 a month. So it was really easy. They just told you what they were going to give you. You didn't need an agent. You didn't have to, have to negotiate. What was it? Take it or leave it deal. Take it or leave it. So I took it, and
Yeah, yeah,
that was my starting point.
yeah, yeah. I romanticized it a whole bunch, didn't I? Oh man, yeah. Well, you go through, you see, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but it would seem as if you would have seen some other guys handling that ball in that certain way that you might have not have seen in your area, and you said, "Hey, man, how'd you do that?" Or you just look and and you start doing those particular moves, or being at that particular place with the body shape and everything. Did you? Is that something that you did, or am I romanticizing it also?
Well, I used to have idols as a kid, and in fact, probably much like St. Louis in New York, they had local leagues established long before the pros got there. You had the ethnic leagues, the Cosmopolitan League or the German American League. You had Italian teams, German teams, Greek teams, um, Latin teams. So you had a mix of soccer going on. It was kind of semi-pro. Everybody played on weekends and had a job, and there were some really good players in that league as well. But there was no professional, or some of them were professionals in Europe and came to America to live once they were 32, 33, and carried on playing. But there were some good players to watch when I was growing up as a kid, and I kind of learned a lot from them. And then when I got into the pros, of course, I learned a little bit more from the senior pros that I was playing with. So it's always a learning experience. I kept learning into my 30s on different techniques, different ways of striking a ball, positioning, scoring goals. Everything is you should learn from every practice you are in, every game you play.
Now, is that what we call like paying lip service, or do you really believe that and you have done it and you have seen others do it?
Yeah, I mean, when you see someone do something and they're good at it and they're successful at it, you try and copy. And I did that. I tried to learn. I tried to pay attention. I tell a story. I posted something. I saw an old teammate of mine, Rodney Marsh in Tampa, a very famous English player, played for the national team. It's on Grumpy Pundits every winter during the Premier League. And I said, I played with him for 3 years. I played for him in Carolina for 1 year. I drank with him, I laughed with him, and I learned from him. And he taught me more about scoring goals than most coaches I had. And it was great to reconnect with him. And he's one of many that sometimes you don't see for 5 or 10 years, but the friendship is there, and bond has been established, and it's just great to share old stories.
Yeah, yeah,
But we're getting older. We can't stop that.
right. The whole story is that there is, in my belief, an art and science of soccer, and and by doing this certain ways and then adding your own personality to it, it becomes Americanized. And I got to ask you because you're the guy I've always wanted to ask since I was a teenager, is to say, do you see an American, a couple, one or two Americans to say, "Come on, fellas, come on, boys, we're going, we're gonna take it. They're not gonna give it to us. We're gonna take the trophy."
Well, I think we're going to have a good performance next year in the World Cup. The
Wow.
American national team has been getting some criticism this past summer because of the Gold Cup and because of the results, but I think they're missing a couple of key players, and I think they have a good coach, and I think they have time to put together a good squad for the World Cup. And I guess expectations might be low now, but I think they're going to have a good performance and good results, and hopefully go quite far next year when the tournament is here.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here. Everybody else is saying, "Hey, what the?" And our man Joey Fink says, "Watch out, bro." So that's some good stuff. If you feel the vibe, I'm kind of leaning towards you. you know, I mean, if you,
I
yeah.
hope I'm right. I hope I'm right.
Well, yeah, but you wouldn't say it if you didn't have a little bit of inkling on, your big toe or something.
Yeah.
So, how about all your injuries and stuff? Have you kind of made the transition, or do you have some nagging soccer injuries?
No, I'm pretty lucky. I'm pretty healthy. I work out 5 days a week. I got myself one of those Fitbit watches, so I do between 12 and 14,000 steps every day. I do a lot of walking. I'm in the gym 2 days a week on the treadmill walking and doing about 8 weight machines, and I do a lot of stretching 1 day a week with a trainer. So I'm in better shape than most of the guys that I met up there, and I want to keep it going. I had knee surgery and broken leg and stuff during my career,
Oh
but
my,
no problem with the knees. No
yeah,
knee replacements. Everything's healthy. No limps. Knock on wood. Everything is still good.
right. So, has the certificate, the diploma for NYU, has it helped you, or have you had a soccer?
No, no. I left soccer in 1986. I was released by Baltimore after 4 years there, making too much money, and I had a degree in business from NYU. I moved to Florida. I had a home here, and I interviewed with a brokerage firm, got a job as a broker, and was a broker for 34 years, and retired about 8 years ago. So I
Absolutely.
used my degree to to get a job in finance and business, and I live in a beautiful place, and I got a lot to be grateful for. So I'm
Oh
I'm
yeah,
pretty good.
absolutely. Is that are you? If I would say this team, would you St. Louis Stars? Would you know anything about them?
Other than the fact that I'm guessing that's the MLS team in St. Louis,
Yeah, yeah, that was the first team that originated with the
right?
NASL. Yeah, I
I
think.
know very little. I just know they have a goalkeeper, Berkey, who used to play for Dortmund, and
Oh,
other
you're
than that, I
talking
don't.
about these guys. Yeah, no, the guys
Yeah,
now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're called City.
S-
But
uh, s-
yeah, it's just city.
City.
Yeah.
No,
Uh, it,
I don't watch. I don't watch MLS. The only games in MLS I watch are the Miami team. That's it.
right, right. And that's the way of city in St. Louis. You had to identify yourself as a North Sider or a South Sider. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I live in the city. I don't live in the county.
Uh,
And then when the county guys, we live in the capital of the United States of America for soccer
uh,
in North County. Yeah. So
I got
yeah, yeah. And so, but we, man, all I know is that we would pick a team on a schoolyard. I would say, hold on. I'd take out my phone. Joey, we got the game on. Come on over, man. That we're bringing in our ringer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Joe, have you all through that time did any coaching bug hit you, or did being a sponsor for a team or anything?
Coaching bug never hit me. I did some coaching here in Florida with kids just for the fun of it, but actual coaching itself on a higher level never appealed to me. I just wanted to play.
Yeah. And so, when you all already have stated your preference and your insights about the national team. Are you aware of any youth soccer in America? You know the U23s and below.
No, I don't. I don't know much about them at all.
Okay. Well, you have to talk to Westy. I can't inform you anything about anything. Westy still coaches with youth soccer.
He does, huh?
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing nowadays is that they always give back.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. But the understanding of are you aware that very few Americans go to NCAA Division I colleges to play anymore?
Um, no, I'm not. I don't follow it that closely. I
No.
follow the Premier League mostly,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
or Real Madrid.
Well, you name dropper, you love the team, huh? All right, yeah, yeah. But that was the whole thing. Is you know, I'm kind of like a nosy guy, and I was just wanting to get your opinions on stuff. But Joey Fink, as you're there, is there another town, including your own town, that you feel as if had soccer? It seems that the national team used to have 10, 11 St. Louisans on it, and this, and the professional leagues always has St. Louis connection. Did you find that to be there was other places, or that was just a unique experience?
Well, I think the cities that had used to establish before the
Are
professional
you
league
are
started.
you kayaking or something, Joe?
No, I got some rain. I got some rain here in South Florida right now.
Oh, far out.
I think I just got in my car. I think that the cities that had leagues established, like Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, I think a lot of players developed in those leagues, and that's where well now it's a lot more. There are leagues established in Tampa and Fort Lauderdale and so on. But years ago, those cities where they had leagues established was where the players came from, like Todd McBride, Willie Roy, Ziggy Stritzel, Gordon Bradley,
Yeah.
guys like that.
Oh, what a name, Willie Roy. What a
Willie
man.
Roy.
Yeah. And so you don't feel as if you're alone, a wolf out in the woods. You're now whale certified, Joey Fink, just like Willie Roy. Yeah, yeah. You say, hey, Willie, I'm whale certified too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to go, Joey. It took 50 years, baby, but you're a whale certified.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
So it's a custom here at Whale Certified to say, hey, Joey, whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for. This is your opportunity.
Well, I don't have a particular person that I want to say anything to. I'm just grateful that I had, or a group of people, I would say, are the coaches that devoted their time to me when I was a kid. When I was 8 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old. Those guys didn't get any money. They just devoted their time. And it's a lot of times spent their own money for training, for games. And they basically dedicated their lives to making us better players, making us better people. And those are the people that I'd like to acknowledge.
Wow. Well, I tell you, I can't offer Ireland to you like your buddy, but if you ever come to St. Louis, I certainly have dinner, breakfast, dinner, lunch, or dinner. I have food for you when you come to St. Louis.
Well, I remember a great meal in the Chase Park Plaza Hotel. Is that still there?
Oh, yeah, it is, baby. You're a name dropper. Yeah, yeah. That's a real nice place.
And I remember a good steak in the Chase Park Plaza one year.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, top of the line, Joey.
There you go.
Joey Fink only goes to the top class.
The best way to go.
Yes, right. Okay, Joey.
All right, Kevin. Great to talk to you, buddy. Great to talk to you.
All right, then. The best to you and yours.
Thank you so much. My best regards to St. Louis.
All right, then. Bye-bye.
You got it.